All right, so I feel inspired. So yesterday I did a brain dump on how I can reverse engineer setting up a LinkedIn profile or a storefront for folks who are non-technical, non-designers. Where I did a recording yesterday and I'm showing you the inner workings of my thinking. So yeah, but I'm just confirming, hey, is this where I did the recording and use this as an example? And it says yes. When I am speaking into it, I tend to polish less. It's almost easier for me to be more natural in my asks and requests because if I don't know what the term is, I can describe around it. So let's do this. Alrighty. So based on everything we did yesterday, you already know that I want to be able to guide others through the same process. Can you first of all tell me what we did? And number two, the steps that we would need to guide an individual through. And then from that, I want to create a custom GPT experience out of it. Alrighty. So, based on everything that we did yesterday, and you already know what I'm trying to accomplish here, right? I want to be able to guide somebody else through the same process without me being there. I just want to be able to guide them step by step, what context to collect, and create a resource that allows somebody else to do this on their own. Let me show you where I'm starting right now. Is this where I did the recording and use this message thread as an example? But yeah, I'm just confirming that it literally is like I'm thinking with somebody. I hope you're picking up on the fact that I'm just having a conversation. I'm not thinking about structuring anything. And it's like I get to work with a business thinking partner. Okay, so now we're continuing this conversation. You opened a page, LinkedIn as an example, and you treated it like a blank storefront. You scanned it like a real person. So what I needed to do right now is to be able to recreate this process through a custom GPT. And I want to be able to train a custom GPT to walk this audience through the same process as if they were working through me. I'm going to reverse engineer what I did yesterday and repackage it into a online experience for other people. So let's see here. Let me just read what it told me. We're going to use it to help you do a scan. Decision surface build. When I was doing this for business, I struggled with naming what it is I do. And I've learned very early on that you have to see what it is I do. And once you see it, it clicks. But what's even better is when you are able to see it applied to your use case, your specific use case. I think a collection of my tools in the order that I use it, in the way that I think naturally, it allows me to help a lot of people at once. Okay, and it gives us as a starting point. I just want to show you what this looks like if I just go with this. Let's see what it looks like. I don't want to call it a storefront, rather a digital hub. A couple things. Most still don't know how to articulate what I would start with context clues. Okay, so I don't want it to call storefront, rather a digital hub. It's one of many. The problem with their approach is that I think we still need to be able to use ChatGPT to. What did I have written down? The goal is to not force people into language that doesn't fit them. The audience is just starting to put themselves online. And this is a huge step. What we will do is use their existing context and translate that into their soft skills and then digital income match. All right, guys, I will spare you of me just thinking out loud. At the end of my back and forth conversation is so essentially what I did was create a custom GPT that walks somebody through the same exact experience that I talked about yesterday, if that makes sense. So I'm going to call it the Digital Identity Orientation Guide. I think this is going to be the first one that I start sharing. I've made so many of these, but it's a digital product, unless it's something that you can stand by and talk about it. It is just yet another thing you have to learn to market and sell. And for people like me, selling just gives me the ick. And I used to think I sucked at selling, but anybody who knows me through jiu-jitsu, it's goodness, good luck training with me. And number one, not signing up. But the odds are you're probably going to get your whole family to sign up too. So I know that when I believe in something, it's so embodied that I don't need to even think about it as something I sell. So yeah, this is something that I can talk about all day. I'm so excited to be able to start sharing these experiences with others because it has changed my life so positively, but I need to be able to talk about it in a way where we have boundaries in our language so that you don't end up into the same kind of burnout that I did. I don't want that for anybody else. Yeah, it's not about just productivity and efficiency. So this is the Digital Identity Orientation Guide. This was created from the brain dump we did yesterday. And the end goal here is to be able to recreate, train a custom GPT to allow others to walk through the same exact steps guided by me. Of course, like you need to know what questions you need to ask, but you have a 24/7 support system where you could do this at your own end, at your pace. Be a little bit more honest than what you would be with a real human being. Just press start. I work with professionals in transition who feel stuck when asked to describe who they are and how they want to show up on LinkedIn. I help translate lived experience into language that feels grounded and usable without performance or hype. Okay, cool. Question you can ask and you can use on any of my tools, any of the ones that I design. It's how do you support me? So it'll ask questions, it'll listen for patterns, it'll reflect them back to you and help you translate it into LinkedIn appropriate words and language. All right, so I asked, hey, how can you help me with visual design? And it says following: overall mood direction, 2 to 3 simple color palette options, visual guidance that matches your words. It's not branding quite yet, but a starting point where you can reimagine what this could look like. So based on her existing profile, I gave a context on what's on here by turning her entire profile into a very quick resume, and I saved that to a PDF. It wouldn't read her URL, but I just took a screenshot. I zoomed all the way out and I took a screenshot of her profile because she is a speaker. She is a podcast host. She has a lot of visibility in the jiu-jitsu world, being a black belt woman under Eddie Bravo with 10 Planets. So she already has contacts online. So I'm using that as context. I took that screenshot, I provided it, and after doing so, I asked for a translation into something visible, some options. And then for feature thumbnails or even carousel covers, and bake that all into this custom GPT. So that's what it means by it saying, hey, overall mood direction and simple color palette options and visual guidance. So cool. Okay, so that's what I've done with Dawna so far. So I'm testing it right now, like obsessively. Sorry, a visual. This is a reference file I created and I added to my custom GPT so it knows to. All right, let's see if it'll do this one. Let's see if he'll pick up anything on him. He is also a podcaster. Okay, so this is his. And then let's see what he has on. We have to adapt our behavior and the type of content depending on our audience. Let me see. Okay, let's run it for David. So as you can see, I did 2 things just because he is not with me right now, and I am using what he has publicly to derive a starting point I can work with. So that's step 1, collecting context. I'm starting with visual context, but the homework that we have to do is do that audit and sit down and write down what it is, where we are right now, and what our goals are. Because with all the shifts in life right now, we can be the author of what comes next. But it really does start with stripping things down to nothing and starting from there. Okay, so David does a couple things. He was my jiu-jitsu coach, but he was also a client of mine. I tricked him into becoming a 5 a.m. jiu-jitsu coach at my gym, and let's see, where is it? What can we do with this? What else can we do? So at any point you don't know, you just, as if you're working with somebody, it's like, how can you help me? What else can you help me with? If you don't know, it is okay to say, I don't know. Okay, so we can create a visual container with this, translate his actual teaching style into a visual rhythm. He already has a Substack with so much content and also a podcast, an audio podcast. He's sitting on so much already that if he provides that as data to start with, it will be able to do this very quickly. Language assets. Okay. Build a bridge between visuals and words. I think this is what he needs. David, we need to talk about feelings. Okay, cool. All right, let's do one. If you've ever been told that you are bossy and particular, you are going to be so good at using ChatGPT, because the way that I trained it, they're never going to say that. If anything, they're going to be like, hey, thank you for great communication and articulating your needs better. Okay, so what we're doing right now, it is going to build a visual container, 3 visual lanes on a mat. In conversation, in reflection, same colors other time, font family, reusable thumbnail templates. Cool. How do you explain this? All right, okay, so we can I want to do this first, and then afterwards, after I'm done recording, I'm going to adapt it so it automatically knows to do this. So I'll add this as a part of the custom GPT experience. Okay, 1-page visual container guide first. Then after we finalize that, let's do the adapt. I hope you pick up on the fact that so much of this is just being able to share my thinking and my process with others by literally just reverse engineering everything and bundling into a single solution. All right, so yeah, I'm just having fun with this. What it's done, it has created him a visual identity guide. I will turn it into a Word document for now. Actually, let me copy this, and I've worked with him in the past, so what I'll do is just updates as of, I think it's the 28th, I forget. Okay, so his visual identity container, I'll just include his image assets in here. But in 30 minutes, he has a solid founder profile. We trained his AI on him with the custom instructions that are developed for him, got clear on brand messaging so that there's consistency in how he sounds and shows up across all of his platforms, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram, and his coaching, his podcasting. The only difference then is I didn't go into visual identity. We got into the psychographics with his audience. It's how do they think? And understanding this it's now their behaviors, their thinking. What is stopping somebody from getting started and learning something that is just so powerful? All right, so let me walk you through why traditional way of talking about digital products first does not work. And the reason why it doesn't, when we can't explain who we best serve, you can't think about products. So I think the blocker is right there. And the benefit of having a solid about founder profile, we already have this done from working together in the past. So watch how much easier it is to identify what type of products that you should be selling once you get clear on who you are. Okay, so this is about David. This is work that we did together in the past in March 2025, where we worked together and I helped him get clear on, find language on who he is. Set up ChatGPT to be his thinking partner. We set up his custom instructions. We walked through building out his full playbook around his needs of his ideal audience. We got into the thinking of the people he best serves and how they feel. And around that, we know the topics we should be creating. And we work together where I have founder messaging on him already. So I'm taking this and the difference of, hey, I don't know where to get started to, okay, I know exactly what I do. And the difference is I'm going to now call in. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to call in that one GPT that I built out when I started jumping into those challenges with Naz. Hey, before we start working together, cool, if you tell me how you can help me. So this is designed around their methodology. It's the WWWH. So before I even get started, just so that we can all get on the same page, I'm asking, hey, can you tell me how you can help me? I help you get unstuck at the starting line. I help you define your ICP, the WWWH method, the who, what, why, how. I help you create visual assets before you feel ready. I turn clarity into lead magnets and first products. The problem is, this is where we get stuck. Clarifying who we help, articulating what they're struggling with. So even before that, the step is getting clear on us, because what that allows us to do is this. All right, so I'm going to take David's profile. All right, and even better, I'm just going to provide it more context since I have it already. That's his. Here is David. Okay, based on what you know about him in this convo, please loop yourself in. So here's David, based on, we'll have to cut some of that out. Okay, here's David, based on what you know about him in this convo, please, and additional context I provided. Please loop yourself in. Please loop yourself in. So I am turning to this Find Your First Customers GPT. It's the one that is trained on their methodology. It's helping people find language. I provided his founder profile. I created a resume-like thing from his LinkedIn profile. I provided all of that context. So based on that, now it's giving me a WWWH method. And because I personally know this guy, I know that this resonates with him. I am one of those blue belts, one of his proud, inconsistent 3-stripe blue belts. Woohoo! Okay, so here is a table. He already has a sense of self on who he is. We did all of this in 45 minutes, and he has just been showing up everywhere on podcasts. And it's a certain person where this is like that missing link to be able to allow them to go from idea to execution super duper fast. Now, based on this, can you turn this into, can you help me understand their psychographics, identity, and how they see them, their psychographic, how they see themselves. So this could be language that a lot of jiu-jitsu or male coaches, this is a language oftentimes that they lack to show up and present themselves, because it's talked about in the lens of self-defense, but anybody who has trained jiu-jitsu knows that it is only one perk out of all things internally that happens in how you grow. All right, so cool. Okay, psychographic profile. All right, so let's say they are disciplined adults who crave clarity, structure, and emotional steadiness and want growth that feels grounding. All right, so cool. Based on what you know, can you help me identify my offer suite from, because he works, he can't do more than we can't have his time be the constraint, or we can't allow his time be the reason that he can't scale his operations, and knowing that up front. Okay, orientation. So at the free level, so it's just knowing what to ask up front. You can structure all of or at least have a sense of structuring things out, how your digital products work together. Okay, so this is great. Visually show me. So we went from, hey, I know who I am, to I know how to find language for who I best naturally serve, to based on that, help me identify how all of my offers work together, from freebie to I also need to get paid and make money with this. But I can't make my time be the things that keeps me from scaling. And I also have a full-time job. Factoring all that into my offer suite, what do you recommend? A freebie, email-based, maybe. A low-ticket digital offer, a group container. And he has all of these pieces already in place. It's now, understanding how it all fits together in his ecosystem. But yeah, if anybody who trains jiu-jitsu, give him a follow. He is really awesome at what he does. He also is a very systems level thinker, and listening to him on his podcast, it's almost like you're just grabbing coffee with him. And that was one of the traditions we had after 5 a.m. training at the Gracie La Mesa, was just to grab coffee at Starbucks right afterwards and just chit chat. So let's see what his offer suite looks like. And I've mentioned it before, as much as I want to be able to scale without my involvement, I also know that learning AI requires mindset shifts. Cool. Dave, I will send these all over to you. You're welcome.